The most common question I get asked as a professional trader, do you have multiple screens? The answer is no. Technically, yes. As you can see, I have this big, gigantic Samsung. It's an Odyssey. It's one of the premier monitors that Samsung has. This is typically towards the gaming aspect, I want to say, of tech. But a lot of professional day traders seem to use this because they don't like to stack monitors on top of monitors. They look at that as that's a little artificial, right? So this Samsung Galaxy, well, the Odyssey, not Galaxy, it should have been marketed more for day traders because look how fabulous it is. So instead of me having stacked monitors on top of stacked monitors, I can have 4, 6, I got 4 screens going on right now, right? So if I was in the S&P right now, I can have the 5-minute, I can have the 15-minute, the 30-minute, the hour, the daily, the weekly, etc. My longer time frames on top, the shorter on the bottom. So then I'm all set up, ready for swing trades, day trades, and I can even do scalps, right? So yes, the question is, for a professional trader, you do want a good amount of exposure to monitors because you want to see what's going on with volume on each one of these time frames. You can get tricked out a lot in a 5-minute time frame, which then you can get false signals. Nobody wants false signals when they're looking for breakouts, etc. So the longer time frames on top of your screens help you make better decisions and not close out your trades too early or too late, because now you get to see what's going on in the daily, the 1 hour, etc. I usually even have a couple of iPads as well. See? I'll have my iPad here. I have another iPad. Sometimes I have 2 iPads here. Depending on how I feel and how much energy I have, and depending on how much I'm going to invest that day. If I want to put my screen up in the portrait mode where I can get it, it just looks overwhelming, right? It just looks like I have this big, huge tower above my head, and I feel like I'm in a dang spaceship, right? This is good. This is very good setup, especially if I plan on being here for a few hours, especially if I'm going to be grinding and trading and looking for perfect moves. I'm going to make sure I have my setups on the daily, right? And then I'm going to look at the hourly. I'm going to find some supply and demand levels, and then I'm going to go all the way down to the 5, and then even the 2 minutes when I'm making day trade and scalp moves. So I can fish at the very top of the daily and the hourly. I can get really good zones. I can figure out what's going on in the stock market for SPY, because I trade SPY, one of the hardest indexes, stocks, etc. Whatever you want to trade, I go for SPY. I know I should go for QQQ or something, NASDAQ. So I'll look at the higher time frames. I'll get a good idea what's going on. I'll start finding supply, demands, where big institutions are buying, etc. And so when I'm trading on the smaller time frames, the 5-minute and then the 2-minute, I'm not going to get a false signal because I'm looking at the larger time frame. I'm seeing what's going on with the volume over here in the hourly and the daily, etc. So then when I'm down here, I'm not going to get faked out. I'm not going to sell too early, and I'm not going to sell too late and get screwed on some of my trades. So the biggest advice to going back to monitors, you want to have a good, decent amount set up where you can justify your visual, right? Your eye, the visual of what you can see. If you have a 36 or a 24-inch monitor and you're able to get a few screens on there and it does not affect your eyesight, your visual, then that all means that is perfect. I recommend you keep on doing that. But if you're going to do this professionally and you're going to do this or supplementary income and you really want to get into this, you got to have a good amount of visual, right? You really want to know what's going on because it becomes a headache when I'm trading the 5-minute and then I'm like, oh man, am I getting faked out? Then I got to click out of the screen. I got to go to a 15, then I got to go to 30 in an hour when I can have it all set up, right? But that goes back into preparation as well. So it's just because I have all these screens doesn't mean I'm going to be successful. No, my day starts before I go to bed, actually, right? I'll go to bed, I'll look at SPY levels, right? I'll look at the futures market. I'll end up looking what the futures market is doing. And I'll start to see my zones. I'll start to see the pivot zones. I'll start to see the highs of the lows of the day before. And then I'll start to measure what the futures market is doing, if it's making lower lows, higher highs, etc., whatever it's doing. So then when I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning Pacific time, I wake up around 6, and I'm watching the market. I already have my pivot zones from yesterday. I'm already looking at the highs for the day, and then I'll look at the 15-minute opening range, right? I'll find out my highs and the lows, and then a good rule of thumb, a breakout above the 15-minute go long, a short under the 15-minute go short, etc. Whatever you're trading, your method is. A lot of them work, some of them don't. Whichever ones feel comfortable for you, continue doing and utilizing. But there's a lot of tips and tricks that you guys can do. Lots of them. Do I use a lot of fancy indicators? No, not really. I like to chart. I just like to do good analysis. I like to do good dailies, hourlies, all the way down to the 5 and 2 minutes. I like to get my ranges set. I like to get and see what's really going on in the market. So when I'm down here and I'm trying to scalp, which is one of the hardest things to do if you're doing futures or whatever, I don't recommend it unless you have a good amount of experience on you. I have everything set up from the daily down to the hourly, and I have my zones, right? So if I'm going to get faked out, I'm not going to really get faked out because I'm already on the longer time frames to give me a really good idea when I'm down to the shorter time frames. I don't recommend you just trade the short time frames. You'll get screwed because you don't really see what's going on. You don't see the bigger picture. You need the bigger picture. You need the longer time frames to see what's going on, and that even helps you better for swing trades, actually, right? If I was going to buy something on Monday and sell it on a Friday, I have my zones, and that's even more useful. I think swing trade is overlooked a lot of the times. I think you can do very well on swing trades, and it's not as much stressful, you know, in my opinion, because you're looking at a zone, you got it set up from on the daily, and then you're looking at 5 minutes, you're looking at these ranges, and you can have a trade on a Monday before a close, and then you can sell it on a Friday. But that's another video, we'll get into that. This one's more about monitors and preparation and visuals. I do recommend that you have a good amount of exposure to visuals on your monitor to see what's going on. So if you do need two or three small monitors, I do highly recommend them. And for the people that are trading on their phones, God bless you if you're doing it. If you're successful right now, good luck to that. I don't recommend that as a long-term thing, not at all. Now, if you were trading on your computer, you set trades on futures, and you have mobile apps, etc., and you set the trade up already on your PC, and everything's all set up, and then you're walking away for like lunch, the gym, or something like that, etc., and then you pull out your phone to do your mobile trades on whatever your brokerages you're using, your Iron Beams, your Robinhoods, Ameritrade, etc., you're closing out your trades, fine, because you already had an idea what was going on through the PC. You already had an idea what was going on throughout the day. And if you're just like, I can't sit here for 8 hours, I get it, I totally get it. Now, at that point, then that's probably more suitable. You can pull out your phone, and then you can close out your trades, right? You're closing out your trades, or you're adding into certain positions from your phone, but it all came back from your monitors. It came back from home. It came back from your analysis at the house. And you already had a key idea where market was going, where it was headed, because you did analysis pre-market, the day before, etc., on your daily, on your hourly, all the way down to your 5 minutes. So it's not like you were just randomly just pulling out your phone and, hey, I'm gonna buy this and do this, and the market looks like this. You already had a thesis that was going on. So that'd be the only case that you'd see me trading on my mobile phone, is because I already had it set up. Or if I was in a futures trade through Iron Beam, which is really cool, I can set it up on Iron Beam, I'm in a position, walk out, and then I can close it on my phone. That's a cool feature. Now, if you're doing things like that, then all necessary, yes, you can use your mobile phone. But going back to this, I do recommend that you at least have 1 to 2, 3 small little monitors. It goes a long way. Have the investment for them. You'll make the money. Don't worry about it. It's not like you're chalking it out and you're throwing it out the window, because if you're going to take trading serious, I recommend you have some sort of good visual. You need it. If you're really going to get serious with trading, you got to learn that the shorter time frames are not the best. They're very good for day trading and scalping, but when it comes to the higher time frames, they will give you a better understanding to hold that trade even longer, when you even in a scalp, even in a day trade, right? So I hope this gives you a little bit more clarity on monitors or screen size and visuals, that you do need a good amount of visuals to help you perform better in trading. I highly recommend it. I can't see somebody just trading off of one 5-minute chart or something like that. There might be a few of you out there, but I just don't recommend it. I recommend multiple charts. I need to see what's going on. And some people might even just have a SPY. Some people might even have the volatility, the dollar. They might have a couple of these so they see what's going on with all these indexes. So when they are trading, they get a better idea to see what's going on. I just don't recommend one screen. So I hope this video was very educational and helped you guys out. And I hope this helps you become a better trader and be successful. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe. And to conclude the video, if you were intimidated by the portrait mode of it skyscraping over you, you can always flip your beautiful Samsung Odyssey to landscape mode, which is cool too. I like this as well. This is a very cool setup. But sometimes when it's early in the morning and I'm drinking my coffee, I do like to have the screen cocked back like that, and I'm a little bit more relaxed. this is less intimidating. I do get it, but this is very easy too. I can have all my time frames, same thing at this aspect, and now I have the multiple monitors, etc. here. I'm just showing you, depending on my mood, I trade in cockpit mode or in landscape mode. They're both very good. I do both of them. I do very well in portrait or landscape. You do not have to go out and get a monitor and flip it over your head because Joe has this crazy big Hookah Kaluk monitor hovering over his head like he's in a spaceship. You do not have to do that. This is very suitable as well. It's a very good wide screen. It has a curve appeal. It's very good. I highly recommend multiple monitors, 2 to 3 minimum, small ones to get a good visual on your screens. As you can see, I even have my iPad, sometimes even 2. So sometimes you see there's like 8 screens going on, guys. All right? Keep that in mind. Good luck and good trades, safe trades.